Yep.
It's a beautiful day on the quad, coming up on ATV News. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints announced 20 new temples around the world. We'll show you one that might be built just down the street.
I'm definitely looking forward to my future in this program.
The drone program at USU is growing. We'll show you what's in the future for drone enthusiasts.
It's nice having something to cuddle.
More people are seeking help for their mental health. But what if your pet was the answer?
I'll show you the new basketball coach's goal and his track record, see if he can hit it.
April showers brought these flowers, and I'll show you what's coming up this week in weather. All that and more, this is ATV News.
I'm so excited to introduce to you all Coach Ryan Odom, Utah State Aggies.
That was USU's AD John Hartwell introducing the new men's basketball head coach, Ryan Odom. Welcome to this edition of ATV News. I'm Kiki Tuileta.
And I'm Jonathan May. Sam Walker joins us early to tell us about our new basketball coach. Sam?
Thanks, John. The new men's head basketball coach is Ryan Odom.
And the greatest upset in the history of this tournament is going to happen.
You might not recognize his name, but if you had a March Madness bracket in 2018, he might have had a part in busting your bracket. He led the 16th seed Retrievers to upset the #1 seed Virginia 74-54, making March Madness history. And his goal for USU is
to try to help Utah State achieve its dreams and advance it in the NCAA tournament.
Odom signed a 5-year contract with USU, and before you get too skeptical, here's a little bit more information about him. While coaching at UMBC, Odom had a record of 97 wins and 60 losses. He is also the first coach to lead a 16 seed to beat a #1 seed in the March Madness tournament. That same season was another record for the Retrievers, as Odom led them to have a school high of 25 wins to 11 losses. I can't speak for everyone, but I am very excited to see how Odom does as the coach of the Aggies this next season. But don't go anywhere yet, because I'll have more Aggie updates in sports. Until then, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Sam. I'm really looking forward to hear more. People are still posting about the global messages from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints semi-annual General Conference. Sarah Murphy shows us the international flavor that came from leaders around the globe.
This weekend at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints 191st Semi-Annual General Conference, speakers addressed themes of global unity and hope amidst the pandemic.
From Korea to Mexico, members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints gathered through technology to listen to President Russell M. Nelson and other church leaders.
We gather as a great global family desiring to worship our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
The prophet and president addressed global unity.
This morning we have heard from church leaders who come from every populated continent on earth.
These global speakers included leaders both in person and over video from places like Fiji.
Today, I desire to focus on the love of Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ for all.
New Zealand.
With all my heart and soul, I choose to follow Jesus Christ and his restored gospel.
And Hong Kong.
I hope and pray that we all will find and stay on the sure foundation.
They tried to assure people by sharing messages of hope.
It is not so much about what we are going through in life, but what we are becoming.
He can embrace us in his arms of mercy, comforting, empowering, and healing each of us.
I pray constantly that through it all, you will feel the Lord's unfailing love for you.
In the Sunday afternoon session, member of the First Presidency, Dallin H. Oaks, talked about the U.S. Constitution and how he believes it's divinely inspired. He also talked about how members of the church need to remember not to judge each other based on their political beliefs. Sarah Murphy, ATV News.
Thanks, Sarah.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints announced new temples in Belgium, South Africa, Singapore, and
Smithfield, Utah.
The temple is one of 20 announced by the church and would be the second built in Cache Valley. Smithfield officials are hopeful for the building's long-term effects.
We hope when they come to Smithfield, they're going to stop at one of our local eateries, eat, maybe grab some groceries at Lee's, and so it's going to make a big difference for our economy.
The Smithfield Temple is the only new temple church leaders announced in Utah.
And now for an update on the number of coronavirus cases in Utah. There have been over 2,000 cases in Utah from last week, with over 15,000 active and over 388,000 cases total. In Cache Valley, there are 91 new cases and over 800 active. The total number in Cache Valley is over 20,000. At USU, there are 3 new cases since last week, 42 active, and over 3,000 total cases.
USU will be offering a degree in drones next fall. While flying drones may not sound like something you would need to get a degree in, Kaylee Foster shows us that there is more to flying drones than you may think.
Flying drones to earn credit for their minor, and this fall they can work towards a major.
Within 24 hours, 11 students signed up for the unmanned aerial systems and 4 for the aviation operations.
I just kept pushing forward, kept bugging Barron a lot. And it was just work on it little by little. He would tell me this is what's going to be expected out of the program. Take these classes.
Students that graduate with a degree in drones can use them for commercial videos and data gathering.
They're replacing a lot of jobs that used to be done by manned pilots. For example, pipeline inspections, building inspections, surveying the ground, learning how to analyze crops. A lot of this was done by either manned pilots or from satellite.
Professors work with students to offer hands-on experiences with the drones.
I know that drones are a huge thing now, and worst comes to worst, if aviation doesn't work out for me for some odd reason, if, say, a medical problem or something, I can always fall back on drones.
Students have been working with drones since 2017 when the minor was first offered.
An amazing spectrum of students coming from all majors into our minor, and I expect the major to continue to grow with students from all over campus.
While this looks like a school arts project, it's actually a working drone. While its body might be made out of styrofoam and its wings out of plastic, students are able to actually combine art and science to create flying drones in a class that they're using to help test out the drone major.
The parts and types of drones are taught in the drone classes.
We have the multi-rotor, which is one of these where it has more than one rotor, and then we have the airplane style or fixed wing.
Photography, sensors, and design are other classes taught in the program. Kaylee Foster, ATV News.
USU Eastern will also start offering the drone major and minor this fall. And coming up,
people are drawn to other people.
We'll show you how small businesses are staying connected to you during the pandemic.
For the 7-day forecast, the current temperature is 60 degrees.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
These seagulls made their yearly visit to Old Main Hill for the egg roll this weekend. The people and seagulls of Logan are currently missing some of that warm weather from a few days ago. These seagulls were still patrolling Old Main on Monday, following Sunday when the temperature reached 75 degrees. A year ago, it was in the 30s and 40s. Logan's average high for April is 57.9 degrees. But on Tuesday morning, you woke up to a winter wonderland 3 weeks into spring. The temperature fell to 31 degrees overnight. So let's start with a look at our national radar. So the way that these radars work is that they monitor particulates in the air. So if you see something that's gray on here, that means that there's a lot of clouds or maybe even some light precipitation. Green means we can be a little bit more confident that they're going to be getting some rain. So there is a little bit of storm on the Pacific Northwest, but most of what we're seeing is on the Midwest. Now this storm right here, it very well may be the culprit that brought us all that snow from just a few days ago. And as you can see, it is moving east. And why would it run unless it were guilty? So now let's take a look at our state radar. Now when you look at this, you might think that I may have made a mistake in pulling this, or maybe there's some error with the radar, but no, it really is that clear. There isn't any sort of clouds or anything on this for us to monitor. So we're looking at right now we're coming off the days where we had a lot of storms and that left us with nothing. So let's take a look right now at some of the temperatures around the valley. So the warmest areas are to the southwest. That would be Brigham City and Tremont, both with 61 degrees. And then it does get a lot cooler as you go to the northeast. So Preston and especially Garden City, currently only 52 degrees compared to Logan, which is currently 60. So now let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. So this is also interesting where we had the really high highs and the low lows within the past week. This is a week coming up that's going to be a lot more even keel. So within the next couple days, it's going to be 2 different days of 60 degrees. And then the highest high and the lowest low come Friday and Saturday, 55 and 64, only a range of 9 degrees. So we're looking at a very sunny and a very even keel week ahead of us. So now you're all caught up on weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Rob. Little Sahara is a popular outdoor recreation spot. The Central Utah Counseling Center says it's also one of the places kids go to drink. Off-roading isn't the only family vacation in Little Sahara right now. The new Parents Empowered campaign wants families to visit the area to stop by these signs and talk about underage drinking.
Parent disapproval is the #1 reason why kids choose not to drink. And so this is a perfect time for the parents to have those conversations, even though it may be a little difficult.
There are 8 signs throughout Little Sahara. You can pick up pamphlets when driving into the park. They include a guide for each of the talking points.
Researchers say social media use went up about 20% when the pandemic started last March. William Boltez shows us how business owners have been taking advantage of this trend.
Cindy made out.
Yeah, aw.
Hi.
Do you guys make rock candy?
Will and Lauren Wood own the kitchen supply store Love to Cook, and they are open to different marketing ideas for their kitchen supplies.
It's been about 4 years since we've owned the kitchen store. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do social media. I'm gonna make it fun.
Okay, guys, Cindy's got her masterpieces here.
People respond to us not only on the platform, but also like in the store.
But she's doing good.
I've always viewed social media as like a way to outreach and to have a relationship.
Will Wood said smaller businesses have an advantage in connecting with their customers through social media. It's even more useful during the pandemic when people are using social media more.
Social media did give us an advantage during the pandemic because we already had a relationship of trust.
A lot of people are also focusing on small businesses first. So I think for the first time in a long time on social media, you're seeing a huge push towards supporting small businesses.
Not only do social media advertisements like these get even more attention for small businesses, but
marketing is more affordable or can be more affordable in the digital world.
We recently brought another company on to help us, and they're great because they make everything look nicer.
But customers and these business owners say authenticity is one of the most important aspects.
I get a lot of value from businesses that are authentic to the business owner and their missions and values.
They want to know your personality as a person because that's what you can get on an individual level.
It's not a front or a facade of something fake that we're trying to put off. It's just like us, it's real,
William Boltez, ATV News.
Gracia said one of her homemade social media advertisements got over 40,000 views in 30 minutes.
In some college housing, part of your rent goes to free laundry. But what if the machines were trashing your clothes? Guest reporter Annika Johns shows us the problem with the washers and dryers in USU's dorms.
One of the perks of living on campus is the free laundry housing provides. But when your clothes have the chance to light on fire, it may not be worth it. With no answers, growing questions, and numerous machines on the fritz, students living in USU housing find themselves turning this easy task into something much more difficult.
The laundry situation in our building is pretty basic. We have 2 laundry machines and 2 dryers in the building, but they rarely work as well as I would like them to.
And this isn't a new problem. For months now, students have found themselves battling it out with machines and sending in countless maintenance requests. But even the maintenance crew has brushed past the issue.
Half the machines broke at the beginning of last semester, and they were never replaced, and maintenance told us to figure it out on our own and call the company ourselves.
So students are left with no choice but to find alternative ways to wash their clothing, or in some cases, risk ruining their clothes.
I did see a sign saying that one of the dryers melts.
Take a look at one of your t-shirts. If it's like this one and made of synthetic fiber, like polyester, it can melt at high temperatures. Your ordinary dryer heat shouldn't be an issue, but in the rare chance the temperature gets too high, your shirt can find itself warped, misshapen, and in a hardened state.
In order to get their clothes clean, students have turned to their creative side, but it hasn't been convenient.
We also have a whole laundromat type of situation in a central building, and I usually walk there to do my laundry. It's pretty inconvenient to have to walk back and forth to start my laundry, put it in the dryer, and then pick it up again, especially when it's cold or snowing outside.
One of the RAs we spoke to said the machines were supposed to be fixed months ago, but there doesn't seem to be any plans to replace the machines in the near future. Annika Johns, ATV News.
Student Living Center residents say some of the washing machines are gone and they don't know when the machines will be back. And coming up.
Emotional support animals should not be viewed as a joke.
We'll show you the statistics behind emotional support pets and how they could affect your mental health.
This is the right fit.
Sam Walker will tell us more about the new basketball coach and sports.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile.
Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
We've been planted here, right in Logan, Utah, Utah State, and we're Aggies.
That is our new head basketball coach, Ryan Odom, and I am excited to see him in action with our Aggies next season. Welcome to this edition of ATV Sports. I'm Sam Walker, and here's some more information about our new head coach.
He was the head coach at Charlotte in 2015, then the head coach at Leonore Rhine in North Carolina. Then from 2017 to 2021, he was the head coach at UMBC. And now he's the coach here at USU.
We're here, all right? This is our spot, all right? We're going to build it here and try to make this the best, all right, it can be.
Odom has been to the postseason 6 times. He made it to the National Invitation Tournament twice. Next, he made it to the NCAA Division II tournament. And in his first year as head coach of the Retrievers, they made it to the College Insider Tournament. He also made it to the NCAA tournament twice. Coach Odom has experience taking teams to the NCAA tournament, and I'm excited to see what he can do with our Aggies. The women's volleyball team has played 2 games this weekend. First, they played San Jose State. It was senior night for the Aggies, and they were showing off for the crowd, like Corinne Larson right here, getting her 4th ace of the night. Woo, man, look at her. Or this.
5-eye the set to Tatum Stahl, and she drilled.
Tatum Stahl smacked the ball to win that volley. Here's another angle on that. Bullet right there. Man, and with that, good thing that girl had her hands up or she would have gotten hit in the face. And with this final block from the Aggies, they won this game 3-1. The team played New Mexico on Saturday, and they lost 2-3. The gymnastics team competed in the NCAA regional tournament this weekend. They tied for 3rd place with Arizona, scoring 196.025. Great job, ladies. The women's soccer team played 2 games this weekend, tying with Colorado College 1-1 after taking the game into 2 overtimes and almost playing 2 hours of playing time. They defeated the Air Force Academy 2-0 on Monday. The USU softball team played 3 games against Nevada this weekend, losing on Thursday 5-10. On Saturday, they had a doubleheader, winning the first game 6-3 and lost the second game 6 runs to the Wolfpack 7. The men's tennis team played 2 matches with a 4-1 victory against SDSU on Thursday and a 2-4 loss again at UNLV on Saturday. The women's tennis team also played 2 matches this weekend, winning 1 on Friday, 4-3 against SDSU. And on Saturday, the team lost 4-0 against UNLV. Now, you're all caught up in sports. I know it was a lot, but I hope you enjoyed it. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Sam. Nothing beats coming home after a rough day and seeing these 2 pop up to welcome me home. I know the joy my pets bring me, so I met with some other pet owners who shared how their animal companions have helped change their lives. Birds chirping. Not what comes to mind when you think of a student apartment, but these little ladies are more than just pets.
Nice to be able to take care of something. I have to keep them alive, so I have to keep me alive.
From 2019 to 2020, the Mental Health America website had a 62% increase of people who used their online screening test for depression, and for anxiety, a 93% increase.
Before her, it was my anxiety was a lot higher.
The site says 7 out of 10 people listed loneliness as one of the top reasons for their mental health issues.
I struggle when I'm alone, and so having Luna, not just, something to take care of or just a pet to have, she's actually been really helpful in providing me with something to care for and providing me with someone to rely on.
Even little guys like Frank can make a big difference. The Human Animal Bond Research Institution found 15 minutes with a therapy animal can reduce stress in university students.
I think a lot of us are just burned out. It's nice to spend your time on something. It's nice to have someone to depend on you to feed them and take care of them.
She's taught me that it's good to have someone to love. She also taught me that I am someone that can be loved. It is hard to be alone, and it's always nice to have something or someone there for you.
The CDC says having a pet can help decrease blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and feelings of loneliness.
I love that. It actually really boosts something in me. And I know it's a cat, it's not a person, but it's nice feeling loved. It's nice feeling like someone's waiting for me when I get home.
I found some online quizzes that could help you decide which pet would be best for you. Who knows? You might even end up getting some gerbils of your own. You can check out the quizzes on our Facebook page.
Sometimes you just gotta grab that Taco Bell or McDonald's on the way home.
Instead of spending time cooking their own meals, college students would rather
For college students, eating healthy takes time and money they might not have. William Boltez tells us how home cooking is getting in the way of healthy eating for students.
Sometimes you just gotta grab that Taco Bell or McDonald's on the way home.
Instead of spending time cooking their own meals, college students would rather just go out.
There's definitely a perception that eating healthy costs more. It's possible to do that in a very affordable way.
Not only do they think it costs more, one of the biggest roadblocks for students is time.
But a lot of students have to spend doing homework and stuff that fast food, it's easy to just be like, oh, I'm just gonna stop here on the way home.
Time is sometimes an even more restricted resource than money.
So there are options for students who have time or are in a pinch. But many students have empty fridges because they don't have enough money or time. The snack pantry on Logan campus helps get food to students who can't afford their groceries.
33% of students at USU are food insecure. Yeah, doing what we can to help reduce that is what we're all about.
If you're a student in need, you can fill out an online form with your information and what you want from the pantry. All you need is your A number.
I think another big roadblock for students can be the unavailability of healthy food options. If you're trying to get a quick lunch in the basement of our student union, there are not a lot of great healthy options.
Part of the 5-year plan of SNAC is to expand the nutrition access portion of it and to increase the resources we have available.
Can I take 2?
William Boltez, ATV News.
The snack pantry sounds like a great service for students. Have you used it before?
I have actually. I usually use it when I'm up on campus and I don't have time to go home. It's really convenient.
Well, I'll have to get my snack on sometime soon.
Yep. Thank you for joining us on this edition of ATV News.
You can catch all our latest editions on our Facebook page.
One shots of campus.
Have a great week, Cache Valley.
And roll, we say, we want you to be okay. And roll, we say, take care of people for goodness sake. There's a plan for every budget, so don't accept defeat. Now you can get covered and still buy me treats.
You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options.
A group of engineering students at Utah State has designed and programmed an innovative remote-controlled submarine. USUB is fully student-run. They designed and built the parts from the ground up and are always working to improve the submarine software and capabilities. These students show that computer science is more than just typing on keyboards. Dive right into engineering with USUB.
It's not my first time bartending, so
It's a sausage party in here.
it's fine. I'm very familiar.
Yeah, because you're a sexy girl, Sam. Last thing, totally last thing,
Yeah.
is that the music, when Momo kicks it into high gear, is going to get a little bit loud in here. So your customers are going to have a hard time hearing you. So you may want to
What?